Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Splash, because there's so many anime in so little time. We're here to help you figure out which animes are worth watching, which animes are worth your time, and which ones are not. We'll watch the first 3 episodes of a given series, and then we'll determine is it worth watching the rest of the series or not. So this time we watched this anime. It was called Mirai Nikki, I think that's what it's called.
Mirai Nikki, or Future Diary as it's translated into English.
Yeah, that's an English translation. So again, well, if you could break down the plot, that'd be cool.
All right, so we have this kid, 14-year-old kid named Ikiru, or Yuki as most people call him, and he's a loner. He just sees himself as a bystander, and he pretty much spends all his time writing a diary of things that he observes. And but the loneliness gets to him, and he eventually starts making up imaginary friends, like Deus Ex Machina, who is the god of time and space, and I guess his sidekick or assistant called Nunu or something. But anyway. It turns out that Deus Ex Machina is real, and Deus gives Yuki like a future diary that tells of events in the future. And but by getting this diary, it places him in a survival game against 11 other people, where they all have to kill each other, and the last person standing becomes the new god of time and space. And so, after finding this out, Yuki starts freaking out. But fortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, he, gains an ally called, who's another diary user called, but the thing is, she is a crazy stalker. And she's really crazy. So, he can't tell what he's going to do. And her diary tells her, since she's a stalker, about everything that he's doing in the future. So she knows everything about him, and that can be pretty scary.
So as you've heard, there's a lot of things going on with this anime. It's just a lot of different stuff for me. It's like so it's like the survival type of situation where they gotta take each other out and become this god of time and space. And then just all types of different stuff, and then you got him as like a loner, the main character, and then you got the stalker girl. It's just all these different elements thrown in, all this craziness. But I thought the first episode did a great job of taking all that stuff that's got all these plot elements and these different situations, and just breaking it down and letting you know exactly what the anime is about from the first episode. I thought they did that really well, and I think the pacing is pretty good with the show. It is very fast paced, and I think the reason is because it's just there's so many different elements of the show, and different sub elements of the plot that they got to keep it growing pretty quickly so that they can include all that stuff. But so as an effect, what happens is that it starts feeling crazy, so, which is cool. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride, And most of the time, the roller coaster is intense, but then sometimes it slows down. So the first and second episode were pretty crazy, intense craziness was happening, and then the third episode they gave you a little break, and then by the end of the third episode they started picking it back up again. So I think the pacing of the show is really good. Another thing that I liked about the show was that the audio I thought was pretty good. They use a lot of drum and bass, and I really like that. Especially they do it a lot when the characters start finding out information they didn't know, so it kind of builds a lot of suspense. And you can tell when important information starts to get revealed when they start playing that bass. And I think it's pretty cool. And they also do a lot of electronica type of sound effects and things like that, which kind of intensifies the situation even further. So a lot of times you just don't even know what's going on, and they'll start playing this crazy music, and you're kind of like, what is going on here? And okay, so again, you referred to like the stalker. They got some crazy characters in this show. So it's particularly the main female character. She's just kind of crazy, off the hook type of stalker craziness, and you know, it's kind of I guess a double-edged sword where, or like it's good and bad, because you know the guy's a loner and he's the main character. He likes to keep to himself, so he got this girl is finally like obsessed with her, obsessed with him, likes him a lot.
I think a good you know, metaphor for that is like the way like each diary tells the future in a different way. Like Yuki's like based on how they wrote in their diary. Like Yuki's diary, because he only wrote about other things. It will never tell him about things that are happening to him. So, you know, there's a blind spot. So if you're like trying to shoot a gun at him, he won't know. If he doesn't know about it, then his diary won't tell him. But the thing is, like Yuno's diary, it supplements his diary by telling her everything that he's doing, and only him. So both of their diaries together, so they make like perfect predictions, but separately they're like a bit weaker, especially Yuno's.
So they make a good combo in the survival game.
But like as you said, it is a double-edged sword, because it is a survival game, and because she is crazy, you never know what you'll do, what she'll do, and really you can't tell who's. I mean, will she turn? You don't know.
I mean, yeah, because there's only one person so what's gonna happen when it's just them or something like that with the situation? I mean, that's the craziness. So a few things that I guess it's not that I didn't like them. It's kind of, you know, things that I were lesser. I didn't care too much for. I would say is okay. So the show is pretty crazy, but it takes a lot of elements from a lot of different fictions that I've seen before, like the whole survivor horror game. I guess no horror, but the survivor game type of thing, where it's you know, battle royale type of thing, or you know, a lot of America's Highlander. I guess that's a European show, where it's like, you know, in the end there could be only one, then they have to take out everybody. And, you know, I've seen that before, but this show did a very they took their own unique spin on it, but at the same time it's like, okay, I kind of seen this before. But I think they did a good job of taking their own interpretation of it. And man, I must say, when I saw the third episode, I was like, the first half of the third episode, I was like, I'm kind of done with this anime, because they started going back. It was like a calm me down moment.
A breather episode.
Yeah, which I don't like breather episodes, but I understand their purpose, because a lot of writers believe, oh, you can't always have action because you're gonna tire the audience out. I kind of disagree with that. And not only did they did a breather, they kind of fell back on a lot of cliche and like really tired anime like mechanics that they always do in animes that I think are kind of annoying. You know, almost was stuff, but they flipped the script on you, and then they started picking up, and it was crazy again. But I mean, based on the third episode alone, it's like, man, do I even want to watch it again? But Ricky, you said you decided you've already want to watch the whole. I mean, if you had the choice.
Yes, I've already continued it. You know, actually thinking about reading the manga, so I can just know what is going to happen. But yeah, but I know I enjoyed it quite a bit. A lot of twists and turns. You know, good action, things like that. But yeah, just, you know, go watch it.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so this anime is pretty crazy. You know, I'm kind of on the fence. Do I want to continue watching it or not? Because it's, I mean, you know, I've seen it in Battle Royale. So, you know, these crazy characters that you can't really tell what their motivations are. And not just Battle Royale. I mean, even that movie is taken from others. Thing, Lord of the Flies, I guess, is one of the original ones. I don't know. I've seen it before, and you know, even though it's a different and a very good interpretation, you know, I kind of seen it before. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. You know, probably just wouldn't watch it. But it's a really good anime, I would say. I mean, if you're really into crazy, insane characters, and you know, where people are kind of in situations where it's like do or die, like split-second decisions where people have to do things on, you know, life or death moments, you probably gonna like this anime. So, any last minute comments and final words?
Well, I would say like after the credits in each episode, they do a little skit where they give background information on some of the characters. You know, and so look for those. You know, they're pretty interesting. And I don't know. I guess just a question. Just like if you were in like this type of situation, battle royale, and you had a crazy stalker girlfriend that's willing to protect you, like, would you use her to the fullest extent, or?
No, I would. For me, I don't. I can't really say because you never know what you would do in a crazy situation like that. But for me, it's like there's this other character in the show that he doesn't want to have any part into it. I don't know. He might change later on. I don't know because. But I would be like, you know what? I'm not even trying to deal with this. So,
you're gonna have to.
Or what? I'm dead.
Yes.
I'll just take my chances and be like, hey, if I die, then I'm gonna be dead. But at least I ain't playing this sick game where this god is trying to put me in some situation I don't want to be in. So hey, if I'm going to go out, I ain't going out like a sucker. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna do something. But
so then, dead end for you.
Dead end. It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. The storyline will be extremely different. If somebody's trying to kill me, of course I'm gonna try and take them out myself. But I'm not trying to take other people out, trying to play this game where I'm gonna be turning into some god. I'm not into that. That's me. I don't know. What about you? You probably would do it, huh?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe see how far I can get. I mean, if I had a crazy stalker girlfriend willing to kill everyone for me. But, okay.
Plus, you can't trust her. It's like, man, I just don't know.
Well, I mean, she's more. Well, really, the messed up thing is she's the most trustworthy out of all the users. Pretty much, actually, out of everyone.
I would be your friend, though. I'd be like, let's work together. I'm not trying to be with you or nothing like that.
Well, you can't just be friends.
Yeah, no.
With girls like that, it's like either you love her or you don't.
Okay, so then we'd have to be enemies then, because I don't be rolling with no crazy stuff.
She won't be your enemy. She'll like force you to be your girl.
So she's gonna be desperately trying to be my girlfriend. Yeah.
It's like that one movie, that Stephen King movie where
Misery.
Yeah.
With the girl and the hammer.
Yeah.
His friends. Well, hey, I mean that's how it's gonna be like. But I'm not. Like I said, I'm not going out like a punk. So you're not gonna tie me to a bed. I'm gonna come out with a hammer and break your legs too. See, that's how I roll. I'm just saying I can be crazy too. When I'm put in a desperate situation. But that's how this anime is. People would be put in some really desperate craziness, and you're in a position where you kind of ask yourself, what would I do in this situation? And of course you'll have an answer in your head, but you never know. Because such a crazy situation, you don't know what you'll do. I might be saying this, but then I might be like, you know what, let's do this. Because this is just too crazy. So so just based off of that conversation alone, it's probably best if you watch it. What you think? I still wouldn't watch the whole thing, but go ahead, check it out, see what you think. Well, until next time, tune in or go to the YouTube channel and check out Anime Splash.
And don't forget to suggest any anime you want us to look at in the future.